How do you think the Spiders might line up at quarterback come Saturday?
Don't know yet. It's either Kyle Ashton or Cam Coleman. Jackson Hardy will be out.
How do you think the team would react in light of Saturday's result and the form of the victory in terms of momentum or mental edge and maybe confidence that gained from something like that?
Well, obviously that was huge. To win a game late in a game like that is always big, and I've always said you can't have great seasons without winning one like that. And I think that's got to be the message. If we want to have the kind of year we think we're capable of having, you got to win those games. And I think our guys, believe that we can win those close ones, and it's important that we do it.
Could you share your thoughts on Matthew Trainor's play on that PAT, and if that was something pre-planned this time last week, or that was sort of an improvised move on Matthew's part?
No, Matt. You like to call him Matthew, I guess Matt, but he's a really good player, man, and we try to get him as many special teams reps as we can wherever it is. He's a really good player, going to be a great player for us, and he's just got a knack to make plays. You saw him out here in 2 minutes. I mean, he always has a knack. He's around the ball, and he just kind of slipped through and made a play.
How much did the defense improve from Del State to Stony Brook?
A lot. We came in there. It looked like we fit gaps really well. We ran to the ball. We tackled better. So, there was a lot of improvement. There were no personal fouls or roughing the quarterbacks. We limited our penalties. So everything we talked about getting done got done by the defense. So that's a credit to the coaches and the players.
What has changed over the last 2 weeks? You've only given up one offensive touchdown in those games against Del State and Stony Brook.
Changed from
the first 2 games this year.
Well, first game we played pretty decent against Morgan State, and in Michigan State we gave up a couple big plays, but I thought, all year long, other than Delaware State, I think our guys have been kind of playing well. We just got to limit any of the drastic mistakes, the blown coverages, those types of things, and we'll be fine on defense.
Your message to everybody on this team, regardless of their position or room, whatever they're in, is always got to be ready. How nice is it that your quarterback room has taken that message to heart, and all of them appear to be as ready as they can for a situation that you can't really predict?
Yeah, we won't be able to predict it here for another day or two, but we've been getting Cam Coleman ready, to be the backup if Kyle can't go. We'll see. I think tomorrow we'll see a little bit more. He threw a touch today, really didn't torque it or anything, but everybody on the team, you mentioned quarterbacks, but everybody's got to be ready when it's their opportunity to step up. And Mikey Jarmolowicz, Bryson Parker goes down. He steps up big time, makes some really nice plays for us, tackles well. So you just never know when it's going to be your time.
What kind of a challenge does Hampton present? I know a lot of it has been about you this week and will continue to be, but what kind of challenge does Hampton present?
Well, I think Hampton's got a really good football team. They've got good players. Like I said the other day, they're well coached. They know what they want to do offensively and defensively. They know what they are. So, it's going to be a huge challenge for us, just because they do have playmakers on both sides of the ball. Like I said, they're big up front defensively. The linebacker they got's as good or better than anybody in the league. Offensively, they got 2 of the best running backs, in my opinion, in the league. So, it's going to be a huge challenge for us on Saturday.
What do you like about their quarterback?
He's good. Throws a good ball, on film. When you can see it spin on film, he's throwing a good ball. But I think the one thing, too, is he's a dual threat at that size. Dual threat at that size makes it really difficult to to defend, because you get in one-on-one situations with him. You know, he can break a tackle, and he runs well enough that he can do some damage with his legs. So we got to be ready to defend him both ways, throwing it and running it.
Hey Tom, what's the vibe after sort of a gutted out kind of win? Not super pretty, but effective.
You know what they say, a win's a win. And in that game especially, you know, we faced some major adversity, and I'm obviously happy about the outcome of the game, and I'm happy how we could overcome that adversity and stay together and win a football game where we haven't really won since 2013, I think. So, I mean, that was a big deal for us, and just getting it done in that way was a really big deal for us. So.
Confidence builder in that respect, and that you know that things don't have to go like clockwork to get it out of you.
100%. I think that just comes with us being so close as a team, and you know, if something's thrown at us, whether it be the rain or injuries, we're going to find a way to win and find a way to overcome adversity. So I was really happy about what happened last Saturday. So.
What was it like for you looking side to side, guys are shuffling in and out, then you look behind you, guys are shuffling in and out. What was that kind of like for you in the middle of all that?
So before the game, Jackson Hardy comes up to me, he says, you know, Tom, I'm in. Trust you, man. I've worked really hard for this. And I was like, hey, Jackson, I trust you, man. Just take command out there and we'll be fine. And, you know, I believe in all the quarterbacks we have. I really believe in Jackson, Kyle down to Jackson, Ashton, and then Cam. You know, I believe in all of them. So that's what I tell them when they go out there. And then when Ashton told me he was going to go out there, I said, man, I trust you too. You know, we're going to get it done. We're going to find a way to win. And, you know, he led the game-winning drive to win the game. So. Proud of him, proud of the team of getting that win there. So,
how about your offensive linemen? Because there was some shuffling going on there. You wound up with two redshirt freshmen on that line with you.
Yep. So Trey Gray obviously stepped up big time. Same with Gabe Carbajal, which is great to see. You know, that comes with the preparation of each week for practice. You know, preparing as a starter, even though you're not a starter, and just being able to step into a role if something like that happens. And, you know, I'm really proud of those guys and how they played and how we overcame the adversity, all the injuries we had up front that game for sure.
Is there a giant difference for you guys as to who plays quarterback? Do you notice a difference? Is there a difference in their tendencies or the way you guys might have to block, anything like that?
No, not really. The only difference is their cadence. You know, cadence is just a little bit different, but that's all. You know, I think they all take great command of the offense. I think we communicate well, saying myself and the quarterbacks in general. So I really think the only difference is the cadence, and all it takes is like one day to figure that out. So.
Well, I was going to say that could be a big thing, though, in terms of, you know, false starts and making sure, you know, okay, you're on two, he says two differently, things like that. But you said it doesn't take long.
It doesn't take long to figure out. It takes like a practice to really get their cadence down and get that feeling, because obviously we have all camp with them as well. And whenever we do center quarterback, we line up with different quarterbacks as well just to get their cadence down. So there's no flaws in that. So
you're bigger than them. Why don't you make them have the same cadence?
Yeah, true. You know, I mean, it is technically the same cadence, but it's just how they say it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I really should, right? Yeah.
You guys are largely a veteran offensive line. How much can you help a quarterback who hasn't seen a lot of playing time?
I would say just take the pressure off of them, keep them clean early in the game, give them confidence. I think that's really the biggest thing, is just keep them clean early, let them establish some confidence early in the game, and then just go from there.
So what was that last drive like then? Take the pressure off. I mean, there was the pressure. You're down 6 minutes to go in the game, and that was a really impressive drive.
Yeah. You know, like I said, Ashton's got some ice in his veins, really clutched up for us. And, you know, that whole game as an offensive line, we said, you know, put it on ourselves. We're obviously the veteran group on the team, on the offense. And we just said, whatever happens in this game, put it on us. Let's just put it on us. Let's drive down the field and try to win this thing. And that's exactly what we did. And proud of all the guys on offense, Ashton especially, and then Trey Gray, Gabe Carbajal, again, really stepping up big for us that game. So
the running game was big for you guys against Stony Brook. Would you like to see more of that Saturday against Hampton?
You know, it's whatever we can get, really. If we can run the ball and it's a certain team, then we'll run the ball. If we can throw the ball, then we'll throw the ball. But if we can be balanced, then that's probably the best option, because if you're balanced, you're dangerous. You know, no one's going to know what you're going to do. And I think that's the most dangerous teams are the most balanced. So if we can get that running game going as well as our passing game, then I think we'll be a dangerous offense going forward. So
You've already faced some athletic defenses this year. Where does Hampton's line up in terms of what you've seen on film?
they're really good defense. I think their front seven's really good. They got a really good linebacker on their team, and I'm excited for the opportunity. You always want to face the best competition, and I feel like Hampton has a really good defense, and excited to see what they have on Saturday playing for us. So.
Jared, for you guys, what's the aftermath of Stony Brook to get out of there with such a gutty, gritty win under a lot of adverse conditions? What is that kind of doing for you guys moving forward?
Honestly, the aftermath for sure is kind of just focused on controlling what we can control. We know week by week is going to be a tough schedule. Every win is a must-win. Every game is a must-win. So we know we're trying to stack these performances, try to keep building on what we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
What was it like playing in a game like that, close all the way through, the wind, the rain, everything you had to deal with?
Honestly, it was more just about expecting the unexpected. We knew how it was going to go. Knew it was going to be kind of a sloppy game, whether the ball was going to be in the air, ball on the ground, whatever. Just trying to make the most out of those opportunities. On the defensive side of the ball, really, like I said, controlling what we can control and coming out with that win.
What type of improvements do you feel you guys made last week? Coach Huseman was pretty critical coming out of the Delaware State game, and it certainly looked a lot more locked down against Stony Brook.
I really think the big thing was discipline, just doing our job on a play-to-play basis. I think there was sometimes in the previous games, a lot of guys were trying to do their individual thing and try to make plays on their own, and a lot of times I would end up in a bust play or a bust coverage, and we found out that doing our job is something that is monumental to what our defense is trying to accomplish this year.
Mobile quarterbacks give everybody trouble, and you guys have had your share already this year. Mm-hmm. How do you prepare? How do you try to improve against guys that, like the Hampton guy, going to be a dual threat?
Right. The biggest thing is rush lanes. D-line focusing on making sure that maintaining those rush lanes and making sure that they're kind of keeping that quarterback in the box. On the back end, it's just eyes. It's all eyes. A lot of times we're getting caught up in man coverage, eyes on the receivers, locked in on what the receivers are doing while the quarterback is kind of having the free roam to kind of do what he wants to do, And at the linebacker level, we're really focusing on making sure that we're having ping pong eyes and getting our eyes back to the quarterback to be ready for that scramble piece.
What can a win like you guys had against Stony Brook do for you confidence-wise moving forward?
It's a big thing. Honestly, I feel like for the most part on the defensive side of the ball, we're all confident regardless of how the outcome of the game is. We know that we're putting our best foot forward on a play-to-play basis, on a game-to-game basis. And with that win, I'm coming out of that game, the rough game. I think it just boosts our morale. Honestly, bonds us a little bit tighter. We know what we have to do on a game-to-game basis again, just to make sure we come out with wins at the end of the day.
How would you kind of describe your role? We know what Tristan gets his, and Galloway's been playing great. Seems like you just keep making plays, and you're almost like the silent assassin kind of.
I hear you. Okay. I would say honestly, in the locker room, I'm a vocal guy around the team. Guys know that they look at me and can ask me for questions, whether it's on and off the field problems. I definitely just try to do my job. I'm one of those guys that's a hard worker. I definitely will lead by example more of the times than using my voice on the field for sure. I'm just trying to keep improving myself. I want to be better every week.